move up? Was there, because of targeting, did you want to have two different guys? Was it just, I mean, how was your philosophy?
It worked out. We had so many different scenarios that we had, and we saw a guy on the board that we didn't feel would get to us. So we felt that it was worth moving up to try to get him, and that's why we did it. And we're extremely happy with it.
Would the plan be with Check to bring him along slower in terms of maybe even the amount of minutes you give him? Or
Who is that?
with the Check.
Oh, no, I mean, we have no idea. I mean, we're gonna have, he's gonna play in summer league. We're gonna go to training camp, and then whatever happened from there. If he's good enough to play right away, he'll play right away. If he's in a development situation where we have to work with him, then we'll do that. I mean, there's no preconceived ideas here of what he's going to do and how he's going to be, or anybody, other than the fact that we go to training camp and we let everything play out.
Both these guys good to go for summer league. Did you expect them to play?
Yes. Yes, we should think that they would play. Yeah.
Do any of the moves that you make with the draft affect anything in free agency? Does it open up maybe prioritizing? Does it switch that at all?
I think we had all of that mapped out also. If we get a certain guy in the draft, then this would be the model that we would probably go with. And if we got a different guy, then the model would probably change a little bit. So I would say, to your question, I would say we anticipated a lot of different scenarios, and so the one that played out we're extremely happy with. And I think the model in free agency, we can, we have that model now set, trying to put it into play.
Rebounding ability, athleticism, length. Does he kind of fit what could be like a future five? If you guys were to ever go small, do you see him maybe being able to be in that role?
Yeah, I think that a lot of teams are, the NBA is kind of trendy anyway. So with the success that Golden State has had, playing a smaller guy as a five-man, I think there's a possibility that could be a role that he could have. But I think the role that he'll have right now is that, he's going to work extremely hard. I think he's going to make practices much better every day. He's going to challenge guys, and then he's going to be a guy that's going to work hard to improve his skills and to get better every single day. So you have guys like that on your team. It's infectious, I think, and that's the kind of guy that I think he'll be.
Did you talk to AD about Buddy yet? Has he reached out to you about, is he excited about the pick?
Oh, I think he's extremely excited. When you're a big guy and you can stick a shooter out on the floor that creates spacing for you, I think he would be extremely happy with it.
Do you have any sense of how picking the addition of Hield will affect Eric Gordon's interest in remaining?
That's all the things that we'll cover and we'll talk about, and I've already started discussions in that direction right there. But free agency starts in less than a week, so it's something that we've already started to cover and talk about.
I know you don't watch a ton of college games during the year. I know you watch as you evaluate. But he became such a big name. Did you watch him at all during the season? Did you catch him? Was he a guy you checked in on at all during the season?
Yeah, I watched him, because he played in a conference that I'm very familiar with, being at Kansas when it was the Big 8, But I've watched games. I watched this game in Kansas, when I think he ended up with 45 points or something. I like watching college basketball when there's guys, like that, and when the game is played up and down. I think it's really good to see, and I just thought he did a great job. Sorry.
What do you feel about him ball handling and movement without the ball and trying to get space off shots instead of catch and shoot?
Oh, I think he's going to be fine with that. I think I think what everybody's trying to do is put him in this label as just a shooter, and he's much more than that. I think, like I said, does he have things that he has to work on? Of course he does, and I think that he'll improve in those areas. But I just think he's much more than just a shooter, you know, that happened to, you know, get up a ton of shots and score a ton of points. He wants to be a complete player. And since the season's over, he's worked on every part of his game, defense, ball handling, and all of that, and he knows that those areas are areas that he's got to improve in.
One of the things you talked about was improving the defense in the offseason, with Buddy being a guy with, even though he's 6'5", he's got that long wingspan. He also showed a propensity for rebounding while he was at Oklahoma. Was that a big part of your assessment, seeing that he could be a significant contributor in the perimeter defense?
Yeah, you know, we'll challenge him. You know, we'll challenge him defensively, and we want him to become not only just a scorer but a stopper also. You know, I think that's a part of his game that we want to see get better, and that's the part of his game that he wants to improve in. So our goal is to make him a complete basketball player. That's our goal with Czech. That's our goal with AD. You know, we want them to be complete basketball players, two-way players that can go get a basket when you want to, but also be able to guard their position and be effective at doing that. So that's ultimately what our goal is, because I think when you do that, then you have an opportunity to have a really good defensive team and a really good offensive team, and usually when you do that, it translates into wins.
Alvin Dell said the other day, you're about to go into a free agency period that's going to be unlike really any free agency period in the history of the league. How stressful is it to know you'll be competing with so many teams with money? There's a limited number of players. There's just so much money to go around.
I really don't think that I don't know how you can judge anything by it. I don't know how you prepare for it. I don't know. To me, it's a lot like when the first time the free agent contracts came up, during the Allen Houston year. I mean, we had Allen Houston at Detroit. We offered him more money than Michael Jordan was making at the time, and you know, we were about $5 million a year short. So we have no idea how this is going to play out or work out, and all you can do is try to stay on top of it and figure out what the market is for certain guys that you're very much interested in, and go from there.
Can you say at this point, like, what's your biggest need heading into free agency after the draft?
I just think we got to add players, good players. You know, I don't think you can ever say no to any position that you can get that's a good player.
What's your relationship been like with Danny Ferry just throughout maybe the draft process and going to free agency?
It's fine. That's fine. I've known Danny a long time. Actually, he was kidding me because I watched him play in high school when he was at DeMatha. You know, he's an extremely bright guy. You know, he's here as a consultant and to, you know, challenge us with ideas and things like that, and I think he's done a great job with it.
I know Dell said when you enter free agency, he was asked, what are some of the big selling points? And he didn't hesitate. He said, our head coach is one of our big selling points. Do you like and embrace that opportunity to be one of the key selling points for New Orleans, why players may want to come here?
I think I would finish second to the restaurants every year. But, you know, I do feel like that, you know, our style of play is fun. I think people enjoy doing it. You know, I don't know what it means to be a player's coach. I'm really not sure what that means. You know, I think you can look at it a couple of ways, but, you know, I embrace players for more than just being on the basketball court. I want to know, you know, how their family, you know, life is and how they are, and I give them an opportunity to come through my door and talk to me at any time they want to. You know, if there's a problem that they're having, and it doesn't have to be basketball related, but I want them to know that my door is always open. Because if I'm going to yell at them and push them and try to get them to do certain things, then they got to know that I care more about them than just a basketball player. That's it. Thank you. I appreciate it.